Can a relationship survive after being cheated on? Is it possible to actually rebuild that trust and for you guys to be happily ever after? The honest truth is, it's never guaranteed, but it is possible. But it's going to take two people to make it work. You're going to have to find one person that's going to have to learn how to forgive, and you're going to have the other person learn how to trust. Now in this video, what you're going to watch is the actual depth about how to go about this. Because see, this is not anything easy to get through. It's going to be very difficult. And there's a lot of people out there that are going to say, F that person, never go back, choose you first. And I get that and I respect that. But then you're going to have people that do want to make it work for many different reasons. And so if you keep on watching this video all the way to the end, you're going to see how to truly rebuild trust, how two people could come together and make it work and actually have the reality and the vulnerability of what it's going to take to make it happen. What's going on, guys? My name is Fausto Castellanos. I'm a motivational speaker, clinical counselor, and spiritual advisor. But most importantly, I'm somebody who's battled with addiction, trauma, mental health, codependency, and I've worked with tons of people on rebuilding trust after being cheated on. And I truly believe those who hurt the most heal the most. And there's a lot of people out there that claim to be gurus, life coaches, healers who are hurting you more than helping you. And I'm somebody that's not only been through the pain, but I've walked through it the healthy way, went to school to get educated, and I've worked with tens of thousands of people due to a mentor of mine who allows thousands of people at his house a week to find hope, to find healing, and to find purpose. In this video, we're going to be talking about a very controversial topic, and it is, should you take somebody back if they've cheated on you? And I get it. There's a lot of people that I know, and I hear from people all the time, F that, hell no. Once you hurt me, I'm never going back to you. Once a cheater, always a cheater. And I totally get that and I respect that. But there's also a group of people that do get cheated on and they do want to make it work. Now, don't get me wrong. It's never guaranteed it's going to work. It's not for everybody, but it is for some people. And I've seen people where they do it and it does work. I will tell you that. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen it where it doesn't work, but I have seen it where it does work. And in this video, we're really going to break down to the depth of what it looks like to really make it work, because it's not going to be easy, but it's possible. For me in my life, I'll tell you what, I've had it where I try to rebuild the trust and I couldn't let it go. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I was very insecure because of it. And my partner did not want to meet me where I was at, to show me transparency, to, show me their phone, to let me know what they're doing. I don't want to be like that. I've never been like that. But when someone cheats on you, it unfortunately makes you think, and the other person needs to be able to work with you. So I've had it where they didn't want to work with me, so I left. I've also had it before that when I was more codependent and I would stay in the relationship, try to forgive quickly, right? I would lie to myself like, oh, I forgive, I let it go. It wasn't their fault. I was in delusion saying that, and I would get cheated on again. So I've been through it in the way that it doesn't work. And I just want to let you know that's my experience. But a lot of people, like I said, I've worked with, it has worked. And so what I'm going to do here is what I do when I work with my clients for you, in case you want to make it work. And remember, if you're choosing to stay with them, then you have to be okay with what that's going to look like. Because remember, you can walk away and just leave, and then you don't have to worry about them hurting you again. If you leave, it's guaranteed they can't hurt you again in that way. But if you stay, it's not guaranteed that they won't happen again. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it's not guaranteed it's going to happen. So first, be aware of that. Now, right here, what we're going to talk about are the two roles that you need to understand in order to rebuild trust. So the first person, let's say the cheater, they're going to need to rebuild trust from the person they cheated on. Now, the person who wants to take them back, you're going to have to learn how to forgive. Now, remember, doesn't mean you need to forgive right away. Forgiveness is going to take time. And that's what the person that cheated on you has to understand, is that you will let it go and forgive as long as it takes you to let it go and forgive. They have no right to tell you when it should happen, because they cheated. There's consequences, right? Just like the person who got cheated on, there's consequences of you staying in it, which is what? You're going to overthink, insecurities. You might be more hypervigilant. You might be more reactive. It's just something that you're going to have to choose to live with until one day, hopefully, as you guys work together, you're not as afraid it's going to happen again. and the other person doesn't have to worry about being so radically transparent with you. And remember, if only one of you guys is doing the work, then guess what? It's not going to work. You both have to be aware of what you're walking into. This is a serious thing that I believe communication every week should be talked about. And also, I'm going to throw out there too, I would recommend, highly recommend couples therapy to walk you through this. And I would highly recommend that you see the couples therapist every month for accountability. So you'll have sessions where they're really going to help you, but the accountability, so when you come in a month later, you can share, is it working or is it not working? Now, what I'm going to walk you through are the 4 steps for you to make it work. And pay close attention to this because this is what you're going to need to do. So grab a pencil, start writing about it, and let's dive into this. 1, the person who's unfaithful. You're going to have to be able to have radical transparency. Again, this is no way to live. This isn't how a relationship should be, but you cheated, okay? You made a decision to make your partner not trust you. It's not their fault. It's your fault. And again, if you want to make it work and you want to rebuild their trust, then guess what? Trust isn't built overnight. You're going to have to work hard at it. So you got to be an open book. Don't get defensive. Don't make excuses. You need to show your partner through your actions, not your words, that they're safe with you. Now, I get it. It's going to be frustrating. But hey, if you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't get mad. Kind of like an alcoholic that says, I'm sober. And yes, I've lied to my partner maybe for 10 years saying I'm going to get sober, but I got 30 days. So I don't know why my partner wants to breathalyze me. How dare they? First of all, you lied to them for 10 years. They don't trust you. And why are you getting mad that they want to breathalyze you? If you're not drinking, you got nothing to worry about. So we got to be careful, right? Again, don't make excuses. Don't get defensive. You're going to have to be radically transparent with them. What I would do is I tell people like, hey, let them know your password to your phone. Make sure your phone is faced up during this time. If they want to see it, let them see it. If you got nothing to hide, then who cares? See, it's the repetitiveness of them being able to have that radical transparency with you that's going to allow them to trust you again. Because the whole point is the whole relationship shouldn't be like that the rest of your life. This is going to be for a season. Also, whoever they cheated on you with, depending on who it is it somebody in the family? Is it a friend of yours? Is it a coworker? Is it an acquaintance? That's a whole nother conversation. Because if you work with this person, you should quit your job if you work with that person. Why? Let's see. Because it's called you disrespecting your partner. Oh, well, that's where I make my money, but that's where you do this. Okay, then you shouldn't have done it, right? Don't shit where you eat. Again, if you're choosing to stay with them, you need to respect their boundaries. And I get it. Every situation could be different. Maybe they're okay with it. I have no idea. But you messed up. So figure it out to make it work if you want to make it work, whatever it takes. Because if you don't want to and you're making excuses, then just get out of it. Step 2, the person who was hurt, you should be able to ask your partner whenever you want for reassurance. Reassurance, because reassurance is going to help you. So you don't need reassurance all the time. You're going to have to ask them more questions. And the person that cheated, you better give them that reassurance. Whatever they ask, again, you meet them where they're at and you make it work. Again, 2 people coming together so the relationship doesn't have to be like this forever. Also for the betrayed partner. So again, we're talking about what? The person who cheated needs to rebuild trust, and the person who's choosing to stay with them, you got to work to forgive. Now, remember, forgiveness is not going to happen overnight, so don't rush it. Your partner shouldn't expect you to forgive it right away, but you're going to have to learn to forgive it little by little. If your partner is meeting you where you're at, is being transparent with you, and you can see that they're trying and they're actually respecting your needs, then you're going to have to learn how to forgive them little by little. Because the goal is you guys don't want to talk about this anymore. That's the whole point. You want to get to a point where it's the past. You never want to weaponize this for the rest of your life and bring it back up 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Remember the one time you cheated on me? Why should I believe you? Da, 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 da. Remember you did that? No, that's not fair either. If you want to hate them for the rest of your life, okay, go for it. Then leave them alone and you can hate them from a distance for what they did and talk crap on them if you want, whatever you want to do. But if you're choosing to stay with them, you got to learn to get to a point where you don't bring it up no more. Because letting it go and forgiving it truly means don't bring it back up. Step 3, emotional repair and healing. Now, for the partner that cheated, you're going to have to understand that the partner that you hurt, they're going to be going through an emotional roller coaster because the idea of you is destroyed. The faithful version of you that they truly believe will never hurt them in that way is gone. You did it, and they know you're capable of it. So for them, their idea of who you are in their mind is destroyed. It's warped. And so now the way they see you will never be the same, unfortunately. And that's just a fact. They will never see you the same because you hurt them. Now, I'm not saying, again, this can't work or be better in the future. They're just never going to see you the same in that way because you did that, especially in the beginning when the wound is so fresh. So the partner that cheated, you got to learn how to be emotionally available to validate your partner's feelings. You got to be okay with them bringing it up in the beginning, how you affected them. They might not want to be intimate with you sexually. They might not want to cuddle with you. They might not want to talk to you as much or text back as much. They might seem cold, closed off, and you have to be okay with that. You can't force them to be open with you, to trust you, to be intimate with you. You can't. You messed that up the moment that you cheated. You destroyed that. You have no right when to force that. So now you're going to really have to learn to be emotionally understanding and validate and vulnerable and active listen and acknowledge what they're going through. You're going to have to do that. They want to feel seen and heard for what you did. They want to know that you felt bad for it. Because you can't just say it. You got to show it. And it's going to take time. For the betrayed partner, now what you're going to have to work on this is, remember this. The way that the person hurt you by cheating on you, yes, they got to make it right with you. But also, you got to take care of yourself because they can't fully make it up to you the full way. They're going to meet you halfway, but you have to meet them halfway. And what does that mean? Is you got to work on your own emotional wounds. You got to work on the pain that you're going through by yourself, whether it's therapy in some shape or form, talking about it, process groups, support groups, reading. You're going to have to heal the parts of you that are hurt too, because that's what you have control over. So they meet you 50% and you got to meet them 50%. Because again, you're choosing to be with them. So you really got to learn what it means to let it go, to feel safe within yourself, so you can trust yourself with who you surround yourself with, right? There's going to be a lot of pain going on internally that you're going to have to work on. So for example, like for me, I had to really work on understanding that nobody is my happiness. I got to understand that no matter how much I love someone, doesn't mean that they can't hurt me. I'm never guaranteed someone to be with me forever. Like I had to really understand these things psychologically to really heal myself internally, to understand that I can't expect someone to fix me or to be my everything. And again, it sounds cynical, but it's not. It's about healing yourself to take back your power. So make sure that you're working on you as well as they're making it up to you. Step 4, rebuilding connection and intimacy. Remember, the goal isn't to fix the past. The goal is to build a better future, a brighter future, a stronger future. It's almost like you're redating each other all over again and you're building a new foundation. And the reason why I'm saying this is when you try to focus on how the relationship was, you're going to start to get resentful because the relationship will never be like it was. It's going to be something new. The love is going to look different. The connection, the intimacy, it's all going to look different. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of people I've worked with that I've seen where the relationship after infidelity, when the two people came together to make it work, it was actually stronger than it's ever been. Again, different, but stronger than it's ever been. So just because you've been hurt like that doesn't mean that the new relationship that you build with each other can't be better than that, okay? And it's not necessarily, I want to say better, it's just going to be different, but again, in a good way. It's possible, but again, both people have to work through it because remember, it's never guaranteed. And now for this final part, what I want to share with you is I'm just going to start throwing stuff out there like the depth of this. Okay. Remember, like I said, I've been in one that didn't work. So I want to tell you why it didn't work because I've seen it work. So I got cheated on. Okay. I found out, told my partner. Now I chose to make it work. Okay. So I told partner, let me see your phone. She did. Let me see your social media. She did. Okay. Cool. Then it was me feeling insecure and questioning everything. Where I want to know, how many times did it happen? Was this the first time? Why did it happen? Did you like it? Was it better than me? I mean, just spiraling, right? Spiraling. Okay. So what ends up happening is I'm having a hard time forgiving. Okay. My partner is not really trying to make it right with me. They're not continuing to be extra transparent. They're not validating my feelings. They're not being there for me. And then I found out that my partner was still being shady, right? Again, ex-partner, not my partner I'm with right now. The one I'm with now, amazing. So they were still being shady, right? And then I would get triggered. I'd get mad. They would be like, oh, why are you with me then? I hate that game, right? Why are you with me then? But I couldn't leave. So I tried to make it work again. Same thing happening, being shady. I find out, why don't you leave me? And then, then it just becomes this fight and everything. So it didn't work because I was willing to do the work, but my other partner wasn't. Okay, so it's not going to work. That's why it takes both of you to make it work. So now, let me show you a version that does make it work. Okay, now, again, there's different styles of cheating, which will dictate it, right? So you have emotional cheating, physical cheating, let's say. Those two, right? I'm sure there's more. There's like all these terms, but let's go with emotional cheating, physical cheating. Okay. So depending on which one it is, will dictate, but they still both hurt. Then depending on how long was it happening for, how did you find out? Does your partner feel bad about it? How many times has it happened? It's all going to dictate different things. Again, you got to choose what you're willing to walk through, because sometimes we stay in the relationship for the wrong reasons, right? One is you're either codependent, you have a fear of being alone. Two, well, we got history together. Three, we got assets together. Four, we got kids together. I'll tell you what, I work with a lot of kids and they'll tell you my parents staying together was the worst thing they could have done because it traumatized us more. So think about that. We got history together. Who cares? If someone's not good for you and they're not respecting you, you get out. You can always build history with someone else, right? There's so many people in the world that, it's not going to be alone. The only way we're alone is because we're the problem and we're not trying to make connections with people. So make sure you're not staying in it for the wrong reasons. Another reason I see too, what people stay in it is because the person needs that person for maybe financial security, future security, insurance, work, something where this person kind of has some type of power over them. That's another terrible reason to stay with somebody. That's why I say make sure that you're independent, you can take care of you, so then you can walk away for something that's not for you anymore. So here's a version of what made it work I want to share with you guys. Okay. The reason I had this experience. So I do something that I didn't view as emotional cheating. Okay. But it was. Okay. I had to be okay with understanding that I did do that, admit it, hear my partner out. Okay. Got it. Then what ends up happening in the situation is a lot of fight starts happening. This person doesn't trust me, questioning everything. And I'm like, I'll show you my phone. I'll show you everything I got. Look through my phone. Here's my password and go for it. I don't care. Honest, me felt bad. I hurt them. I care about them. So we talk about it. Transparency, extra reassurance. Where are you at? It's okay. Being okay with it. Okay. Then they got to learn to let it go. So what do? They go to individual therapy to let it go, right? Working on their therapy, work on thought patterns, all that stuff. Okay. So they're doing their therapy. I'm doing my therapy. Come together, right? Triggered, validate it. I understand where you're coming from. Let me show you this is not happening. Here you go. Look, thank you for letting me feel seen and heard. I don't mean to be like this, but thank you for showing me. Thank you. Calms down. And so it's just that back and forth, individual therapy, back and forth, individual therapy, back and forth, individual therapy, right? Validating each other, working on forgiveness, working on rebuilding trust. And so that's what you got to do over and over again, over and over again. And again, remember, the key is that it's not happening anymore. Your partner keeps on cheating on you. That's a whole nother problem you got to talk about. But if there's no more cheating going on and you're both working on it, then guess what? Trust starts to happen again. Forgiveness starts to happen over time. And again, it's going to take as long as it needs. The more you guys work together, the sooner you'll heal, right? But again, it takes two people, individual therapy, couples therapy, and really understanding emotional intelligence, communication, all those things that it takes to work on it together. It's a team, right? So it's going to take that stuff. And that's kind of the key if you guys want to make it work. And remember this, I always say go to a professional because your friends are going to have biased opinions. And remember this, most people will give you the truth based on their experiences, right? Oh, it never works out. Why? Because it didn't work out for you, right? Oh, screw them, do this and that. I stood with my husband or wife for this long and it was the worst experience ever. They lied to me the whole time. So be careful who you're going to for guidance through rebuilding trust. As a couple, your problem should stay your problem and your problem only. Bring it to a professional. Maybe you have a trusted friend you can talk to, but be very careful because you want to make the decision that's best for you and the relationship. All right? That's your guys' business, not anyone else's. So remember to protect that situation at all costs, because other people's opinions might confuse you. And then you might make a decision that not that you want to make, but what you feel like you have to make. And also, you don't want people talking crap on your partner if you're going to stay together. That's the worst thing. I get a lot of people and they start talking crap about their partner, whether it's social media or to the group of us, and then they come back together. And it sucks because now it's like, man, I feel bad to be the other person back with you because we're all seeing this person bad. And you can't take that back. And then that might destroy the relationship because now they don't want to be around anymore. So we'll close out with this. I hope what I taught you was able to help. Like I said, I've had situations of myself going through stuff like that. I've worked with tons of people who are going through this situation. I mean, tons. So many times the situation happens. And so it really takes, again, two people to come together, to be mature about it, understand that it's a choice to stay together, but you can leave whenever you want. Make sure you're staying for the right reasons. Make sure both of you are respecting each other's needs. Keep it to yourself, to a professional, and a small niche of people, right? Be careful with it. And just know it's going to be really hard and it's going to take time. It's going to take time. We can't control how we're going to feel. We can't control how long it takes us to heal. So we got to understand that as you guys are walking into this situation. Again, I recommend, I'm just going to say it again, man, couples therapy. If you really want to make couples therapy, that's literally, I feel like a lifesaver to do and stuff like that. And I just hope that, you know, it is possible. It's going to be a journey. I just hope that if you do try it, remember to always remind yourself, it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. You want it? Yes, not guaranteed. And that's just so you protect yourself. Because remember, if you're taking care of you while you're trying to make it work, then whatever happens, you'll be able to handle the outcome of it. So have no expectations, but have high hope. And I just appreciate you guys listening to this video. If you made it to the end, please leave comments on this if you want more stuff on how to work through this stuff. I mean, this is something that if you talk to me, we can really go into depth about it and stuff like that. Like I said, for me, have been able to work through, I was the emotional cheater without being aware of it. And again, that's not me trying to be like aloof about it. I actually came from trying to be in an open relationship at one point because of my codependency. And I tried it out because I don't want to lose the girl that I was with. And so it really kind of like desensitized me and put me in this weird place of how to be in a relationship. So when I came into the new relationship, which is a monogamous one, I still had those tendencies from that relationship of the way I talk and act. I was unaware of it. So the emotional cheating, I've been able to make it right with my girl now. And I mean, we're stronger than ever because we put in a lot of work. And like I said, I've been physically cheated on by other partners and I tried to make it work and it didn't, right? So I've seen both sides of it. I've worked with a lot of people. So I'm sharing from my experience, from other people's experiences. And I just appreciate you guys watching the video to this. If you feel like this has helped you or you can help anybody else, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notified. I release videos every week to help you guys out to grow in different ways. If you have any video ideas, leave them in the comments so I can make a video on it. And also in the description, you'll see I have a free book, How to Find Purpose in Your Pain ebook. The link will be there. There's no money. There's no catch to it. Legit. I'm not lying to you. Just something I can give you guys to help you guys out with that. And other than that, just know, again, it's possible. Don't give up if you don't want to. Just make sure you're doing it for you. And just know that I'm sending you love and healing your way for your journey. I'm here with you on it. You don't have to do this alone. Reach out to me and we can walk through this together.